Hey there, it's good to see you. I'm sorry I was gone for like 3 weeks. I got really sick with a stomach problem, and so all I could do was lay in bed with my phone on TikTok, which normally I would love that, but I was just absolutely miserable. And it turns out I was having a bad reaction to some medicine that I was on, and so now that that's gone, I'm almost 100% back to normal. Because I got the opportunity to spend a whole entire week straight just looking for TikTok art hacks, I am so excited to say that I have found some of the most interesting, useful, maybe a little sketchy art hacks that I could find. And today I'm gonna try them out, see if they work, and see what the real tea is. Today I'm going to be featuring many different TikTok creators, and on this channel, you guys know we support smaller creators, so every single person that I show today, please go check them out, give them a follow, give them some views, go show them some love, support, and you know, maybe you'll make their day. And as far as I go, the answer is yes, I do have a TikTok account. I post tutorials, useful art information, my artwork, all things art. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, not only will I be leaving the other creators link down below, but also my TikTok, okay? Okay. For this very first art hack, hopefully this one truly works for me because this one would be an absolute game changer. It's a way to make your cheap paint look expensive. The hack is to get regular acrylic paint, turn that into a thick body acrylic. If you don't know, thick body, sorry, never mind. This is very high quality, thick body acrylic. It comes out very, very thick, almost like oil color or something. It doesn't look like a normal, typical acrylic. It's so thick, it's almost like a toothpaste. It's very, very sticky. And when you compare it directly to just regular liquid acrylic paint, I mean, there's just absolutely no comparison. Like, look how liquidy this one is. I personally don't have any marble powder, so instead, in the comments, I saw that you could use cornstarch. So I'm just gonna glob a little bit on, just like this. Nice and watery, exactly what we expected. I don't know how much cornstarch to get, but just, I guess like a nice, we'll start off small. This is kind of tripping me out right now because this paint absolutely does not look like regular acrylic. It definitely looks like oil paint now. All right, so here's a before, thin, watery. We do not want her, we do not like her. Unless you do like her, then that's okay too. But for this specific art hack, not a fan. And with her makeover, this is now what she looks like. The texture is a lot more drier, but it's applying a lot more evenly. I mean, there is no comparison. Even on the screen, you can clearly see the difference between the two. Okay. I don't even have words. This is such a good hack. My gosh. I'm giving this one a 1,000 out of 10. Now for this next hack, I'm gonna have to get really serious for this one. This one single-handedly was the reason I'm making this video today. If this truly works, girl, I am gonna be shook, okay? This hack that you're about to see, I wouldn't even consider this an art hack. It's more like pure genius. I mean, like, I didn't even know this was a thing. I'm not even gonna tell you what this hack is. I just want you to see it for yourself.
I could tell you all day that you can draw with any metal lying around, but I figured I might as well show you by sculpting this pointy little thing out of aluminum foil. How funny would it be to hang art in a prestigious gallery only for the description to say it was drawn with aluminum foil?
This TikToker literally made a whole entire Iron Man portrait with aluminum foil. I don't think you understand how crazy that is. They made a drawing with aluminum kitchen foil. I don't know how many likes this video has, but it needs more. Like whatever it has, it needs triple, if not quadruple that. Now for this art hack, I have here with me an old gesso board that I have yet to use. In the TikTok, the user says to already prep your canvas, and this I was gonna call this a TikTok. This board is already prepped. And I also have the exact same brand of foil that the TikToker used. The edge isn't perfect, but I don't think it needs to be perfect because as long as it scratches lightly, it'll make like a light line. What should I draw? How about just an eyeball? Oh, that noise is gonna bother me so bad. In fact, I'll just turn off the audio because that is very unpleasant. This is so weird. It looks, from my angle, it looks exactly just like a pencil. This is like working with absolute ease. And I suggest if you're one of those people who absolutely hates the noise of nails on a chalkboard, this is probably not for you because that's all this noise is. As far as like the metallic sheen goes, it might just be the canvas that I'm using. It might be the type of foil that I'm using. For me personally, it doesn't look any more reflective than a pencil would. It kind of reminds me of the early crayon Da Vinci drawings. This technique is just like drawing with a pen where you're not able to go any lighter or any darker. And the cool thing about this is usually when you draw with a pencil, there's all kinds of like things everywhere, like little pencil shreds. But because this is just literally crushed up foil, there is absolutely zero mess to this. All around, I would say this worked out beautifully, and if I had to rate this, I would give it a perfect 10 out of 10. Now for this next hack, I'm sure it's gonna work, but to be quite honest with you, I don't think it's gonna work very well. Okay, and it's nothing to do with the TikToker at all, but I think this technique is just gonna be more than what it's worth. You know what I mean? And the TikToker is obviously very, very good at this technique, but I think I'm gonna suck.
Okay, sorry is a sorry does. She just wanna cut up in the car, told her start it up. I don't wanna see it from your eyes unless it's Cartier. Ran into my old chick, she said you ain't playing fair, playing fair, playing fair. Nah, I ain't playing fair, playing fair, playing fair. Nah, I ain't playing fair. Asked her why she staying there, she said she don't.
Yeah, see, they basically made a pencil contraption and they were able to trace a drawing from it. And not only were they able to trace it, but they were able to trace it incredibly well. Now, I gotta make these as even as possible. That way, whenever I draw with them, they'll be like even, you know? It's not too sturdy. All right, so let's try this out. This is the image that I'm gonna try to copy. I'm gonna do this exactly as they showed on the TikTok, and I'm gonna keep it sturdy and just go for it. Oh, shoot, it doesn't reach. So like the highest point over here, it won't reach on the page. That might be a problem. All right, so I just printed out a smaller image. This one should reach all the way, like the highest point should reach the other page. Yeah, I'm sure that there is some kind of a technique that can be done to make this look better, but the whole entire point of a hack is that it's a hack. It's supposed to make life easier for you. That's why it's called a life hack. And I gotta give props to the original TikToker. I mean, they did a really good job with like keeping the consistency of the pencils. But I mean, girl, we can't be doing this, okay? I guess I'm just not talented enough for this one to work. So I'm gonna have to give this one a 2 out of 10. Now for this next art hack, I would say that it's more for like entertainment aesthetic purposes. I think it's absolutely amazing, but I just don't know if it's practical, but I want to try it out. And this is what it is. So basically they put markers and water in a spray bottle and they let the ink from the markers mix with the spray bottle and then they just like sprayed as like a texture kind of thing. Now when it comes to this hack, I think this hack would be best applied to markers that are completely dried out already. But for me personally, I don't have any random markers that are dried out just like laying around, you know? So instead I'm just gonna use fresh ones that I got at the dollar store. All right, let's try this out. Hopefully the second that I put it in, it doesn't like topple over. I have a feeling that might happen. Ah. And now I'm going to fill this thing up. Not all the way, just like a little bit to get some of the ink. I'm gonna fill it up with water. So it's been about maybe 15-20 minutes. As you can see, the water is super concentrated now. It's almost like a pure black color. Oh, it's kind of working. And it's like even too. Well, on the camera, it doesn't look very even, but in real life, it looks super even from my angle. If you were doing an illustration or a watercolor and you wanted to tone your canvas, I bet this would literally be the solution to that. Look at this, this is so good. Not very practical, but it's really, really cool. If I had to rate this one, I would say it's a 7 out of 10. And the reason I'm not giving it a perfect 10 is because it's kind of messy and kind of impractical and requires a lot of markers. Now for this next art hack, this is one that I'm like, ooh, this is such good information. It's super easy, anybody can do this one, and I genuinely think this one will save people a lot of money.
So for all you artists starting out, here's a little art hack. See in my water, I have this thing at the bottom. Well, that is this stuff that you buy at the, I don't know where, but it's just shelf paper stuff, like to line your shelves and you put your cups on it and stuff. And you put it in the bottom and you can scrub your brushes on it and it gets them really clean.
I really like the concept of this art hack because shelf liner is really soft, it's waterproof, it's bendable, and I just think it's a better alternative than chicken wire or something. To start off, I'm going to cut the shelf liner into a perfectly not symmetrical circle that'll fit inside of this. Now I'm gonna fill this up with water, exactly how they showed. Okay, here's my dirty brush. And now for the moment of truth. Oh my gosh, yes! This one worked out beautiful. This thing doesn't 100% stick to the bottom. As you swirl it around, it's gonna mess up, like it's not stuck to it. If you were to make it more permanent, I bet this hack would just absolutely blow it out of the water. No pun intended. I guess because the shelf liner is waterproof and it has that texture, it just automatically cleans it. This was a very good hack and I could personally see myself using this all the time. 8 out of 10. Now, this is the only art hack that I'm gonna show you that technically isn't an art hack. The account is actually somebody who's a nail artist, but just like a traditional artist, a synthetic brush is a synthetic brush. So in theory, the hack that I'm about to show you should work the exact same.
I fixed my student's art brush with boiling water.
I know that one went by super fast, but let's rewind. First, they get a brush that has clearly been messed with. They dip it in boiling water, and even just when it's underwater, you can already see like the bristles start to, and when they pull it back out, it's literally perfect again. I have been saving this little janky brush for months just to be able to find a hack that'll clean this bad boy right up. So here I have a hot water boiler, and I'm gonna turn it on, wait for the water to boil. As you can see, it's very hot. It's steaming hot. So I want to see if this works. Not so much. Yeah, no, that's just not really working out for me. I mean, I would like to give it... Oh, yeah, no, it's not working. I'm gonna have to give this one, for my personal experience, a 4 out of 10. For this next TikTok, if you are an artist, I'm sure you have experienced that thing where you put a piece of tape down, put some watercolor around it, and when you went to tear off the protective tape, it like tears the paper along with it. Well, my friends, this TikTok might be for you. It's a way to completely prevent that from happening. And by the way, the artwork in this is just absolutely beautiful. You see what I mean? It's absolutely seamless. When they took off the tape, it was perfect. And something to note is the tape that they were using, I don't even think that's painter's tape. I think that's straight up just regular packing tape. Masking tape like this is so much cheaper than painter's tape, so I really hope this one works just for the sake of my wallet. Just gonna put that down. I'm gonna press it in exactly how I would if I was painting, if I was drawing. Now, for the sake of making it more authentic, I'm also gonna draw over it like I would if I was actually using this for a drawing or painting. So here's what it looks like before with no heat applied to it without the art hack. Yeah, see, it tore it up. The TikTok didn't specify if I should use high heat, if I should use low heat, so I'm gonna use medium air with the highest heat setting. Feels nice. Boom. Yeah, this was significantly easier to peel off than the first one. And when I was peeling it off, some of the areas were still stuck together when they were blow drying, but all I had to do was go back over it with the hair dryer and then it peeled off with complete ease. Yeah, this was such a good art hack. I'm gonna give this one, as far as like ease and everything, I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10. Well, anyway, guys, that concludes the video. That concludes the art hacks for today. But yeah, this was fun. I'm glad we got to hang out once again. If you want to see more hacks, I will leave my whole entire hack playlist down below. If you want to check out my or anybody else in this video's TikTok, I will also leave that down below. I personally really love doing art hacks, so if you want to see more, please let me know. Give the video a thumbs up. And yeah, with that being said, I hope you have a good day, and I will see you next video. Bye.